So we figured it out.
Communication is an important thing.
Well, I got communication on that one, but we'd already done the schedule here for being at one time, and so, so I had to fix that. So soccer team beat Roswell last night, 2-1. And volleyball swept Carlsbad 3-0.
Perfect.
So it was a good. It was a good day for Artesia Athletics yesterday.
Go girls!
So they were doing good. Leah's here from Central Valley Electric Cooperative. How are you doing today?
I am doing great this morning. It's the first day of fall this afternoon.
Well, that's what everybody keeps saying, but all I've seen are pictures of Joe Biden falling down the steps of Air Force One, and
same thing. See,
I think what needs to happen, we need to look up on the dictionary as to the definition of fall, and I think we're talking about autumn, not falling down or something like that. So the weather certainly seems to be cooperating.
Oh, it was nice this morning. Super nice and cool.
So that'll be good. Well, let's talk about, you have a survey.
Yes, another one.
Another one. Well, it's okay. Nothing wrong with surveys. Tell us a little bit about this new survey that you have at CVE.
So I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, we were talking about the newsletter, and you made reference to the increased fuel cost adjustment.
Yes.
So I talked to a couple of our members that same week, and we were talking about this article, and I said something to them about, well, did you get your newsletter? Did you take a look at that article? And neither one of them had received it. And come to find out, that's because they're on our paperless billing. So it kind of clicked that, oh my gosh, all of our paperless billing people are not getting this newsletter unless they're signed up for our email newsletter, which is a totally separate deal.
Okay.
And I think I mentioned too that if you have your bill sent to you by email, that doesn't necessarily mean that you've signed up to receive communications. So there's two different little boxes that you can check: email invoice only, or you can do the communications as well.
Okay.
So if you think about how many members we have, 5,000 members, let's say. We have 700 and some odd people who receive their newsletter via email. So we're just hitting a very small amount of our population. So we're trying to figure out, we met last week with our staff and trying to figure out, how do we do a separate mailing and mail this out separately for those who don't get it in hard copy? So we're trying to figure out, do people like it in hard copy? Because right now it goes out in your bill. Or do they prefer to get it by email? Or, just all kinds of little questions. So that survey will be emailed out to our membership that are on our email service on the 1st of October.
Okay.
And then we also have it right now on our Facebook page.
And for those of you watching online, I went to the Facebook page, and the first thing you have up on the Facebook page is the job openings that you have. But then the second post right after that is the survey regarding the Beyond the Wire newsletter.
Right. And it is a jot form.
Okay. So when I click on it here, it opens up a form.
Hey, it worked.
Okay. And so you put your name in, and your address, and your contact number, and your email address.
Right.
So that's all that you need for that part.
Yes.
And then how many questions do you have on there?
I think we have 5, and it's just getting feedback about whether or not they read it, first off, and then if they have any suggestions for it, what would they like to see in it, and do they prefer it in hard copy, or do they prefer it in email?
Okay.
So, or digitally, it's just really, if you use Constant Contact like we do for our email, it's just a matter of cutting and pasting the JPEGs. So it's not like it's a digital copy. It's just you could print it out if you want to.
Sure.
But you can't make changes to it or anything. So it's...
So your first question, do you read the monthly Beyond the Wire newsletter? Yes or no? Sometimes, do you receive the monthly Beyond the Wire newsletter from Central Valley Electric in your email only, your bill, or do you receive both? And which do you prefer, like you said?
Right.
At this time, our newsletter is mailed with your monthly bill. Would you be more interested in receiving it in a separate mailing, like you just said?
Yep.
And then you even have space for why. Tell us something you like or dislike about the Beyond the Wire newsletter. So a little feedback on the content.
Yes.
What kind of stories do you like the most? And what kind of changes would you like to see in the Beyond the Wire newsletter? So,
Yeah,
I mean,
if any.
you just summarized all that, but that's basically what the questions are on this.
And they're kind of similar questions, but they're not, if you really think about how to answer them. And so last week when we got together with our member services group statewide, we all took copies of our newsletter. We all took copies of the Enchantment, the other publication that we have the opportunity to distribute.
That's a region-wide publication, but there's local stories that are in it from each one of the different regions.
Right. So we get the centerfold of every one. And that's where you're going to find your individual co-op information.
Okay.
So that's mailed out separately in a separate mailing. This is not, this is emailed to our folks who are on an email as well, just to a link. So this comes in a separate mailing, whereas the Beyond the Wire newsletter goes in the bill.
Okay.
Which goes, that goes out at your billing time, which is 2 different times a month. So if you're one of those people that just opens your bill and doesn't look at any of the other content, which some people do, you may not be seeing this information. And again, if you're signed up for the paperless billing, you might not be seeing this information. So I think there's some really good information in here. I think that, Chuck strives to make sure that we give out very good, accurate, transparent information. Raylan does great stories, great photos. I try to make sure and do research before I write any of these stories and make sure that it's as accurate as possible. It goes through Raylan, myself, and Chuck. We make sure that we hopefully don't make any spelling errors,
that's
grammatical
hard to do.
errors, or anything like that. And and it's formatted on an Adobe program, InDesign, and it provides just enough information because this used to be a quarterly document. And so you miss out on a lot of current stuff if you wait 3 months to write about it. So we decided to go monthly so people know what we're doing more frequently. And especially if we have events coming up or things like that, you see it each month.
Yeah. I tell you, it is an interesting question to ask because there used to be, there still is a trade publication for radio.
Right.
It used to be come in the mail. I think every 2 weeks. And I used to take it home and I used to read it through front to back, look at all the ads, articles, and read all the different articles. And they, like most things, discontinued the printed version. And I'm on the mailing list and I get the email. I don't think I have read any of the electronic ones since they went to that method. And you would think I have an iPad. I have, we have smartphones, we have computers. You would think, I don't know.
I know.
But I know I'm not. I'm weird. I'm not like most people.
We're of a different generation of things, and I know when I look at a computer all day long most of the time. I don't really want to go back and look at a computer when I get home, unless, of course I have to do personal things at home too, but I like to be able sometimes to pick up something and read it. I like the feel of a book. I love magazines. I love real magazines. I read more magazines than I do books and cookbooks and things like that. And I like them in my hand. I don't like them on a Kindle or, I'm showing my age a little bit here, but that's just my preference.
Yeah.
And maybe that's other people's preferences too.
Sure, but if you go on electronic billing, which is very convenient for a lot of people, then you miss out on some of these other things. So
well, and I myself am on paperless billing, and I see the newsletter because that's what our department does. So I, of course, see it and read it word for word.
Yeah.
But if I were a customer and not an employee and did the paperless billing, who knows?
Would you miss it?
I might not. I might have a different opinion, but
so that's why you have the survey.
Yes, exactly right. So we sent the survey out to our member employees this morning to get their feedback before it goes across across our service territory, which, like I said, will be October 1st when it gets emailed, but it is on the Facebook page, and we would appreciate any current CVE members to go to our Facebook page and click. We've had one submission outside of the organization so far, and it was good feedback. Yeah, so that was just today, so hopefully we'll get more and more.
Okay, so go to the Central Valley Electric Co-op page on Facebook. And then, like I said, the second post right now, I don't know if you'll pin it at the top or keep it up there. It just kind of depends. But right now it's called Beyond the Wire Newsletter from CVE, form from jotform.com.
JotForm's a very secure way of doing a quick survey too.
Okay.
So our IT department agreed.
So go ahead and click on it, fill it out, and submit your comments on
Yes.
it. And you guys will be, I'm sure, very curious and interested to see what kind of feedback you get on that.
That's right. Yeah, it'll be nice. We'll leave it open till the end of October.
Okay.
So we'll see. By the first of the year, we'll have a really good idea of what we need to do. And then there's one last thing. So some of the cool things that go on at Central Valley Electric in our community room, where community people use it for different things.
Which is back open and available again.
It is. So Blue Star Therapy is doing free child find screenings on Friday, September 24th at our office from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if there's anybody out there that has a youngster, I think birth to 3, that might be having some learning issues, maybe was born premature, low birth weight, if they're having difficulties crawling, walking, or talking, or problems with eating, vision, or hearing, they can come to CVE on Friday between 9 and 3, and they can get a free screening from Blue Star Therapy to see if they might need some help.
May I have that?
You
copy
certainly
there?
may.
I don't think we have this.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing that by.
Yeah.
And so that's this Friday.
Yes.
Like the day after tomorrow, Friday.
Yes. And it's just a pop-in. I don't think you have to have an appointment. And there's a team of people that will be there to do those assessments and see where your kiddo is.
Are you going to be an election polling place
Yes.
in November?
Yes.
Okay.
Already on the books.
Good,
Yeah.
because that's coming up, and there's going to be some interesting things on the ballot. So you guys will be a good place for people to go and
Oh, yeah.
and vote. So,
We always like opening up that room for voting.
Yeah.
You get to see all kinds of people too.
yeah, that's right. Well, good. Well, is there anything else we need to cover today?
I think that's it. Thank you so much. And again, just check out our Facebook page and our website and call us if you have any questions, 746-3571.
Very good. Well, Leah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gene.
Appreciate you coming in. And look for that survey and get it filled out. Now, what if you're not on Facebook?
If you're not on Facebook, it is on our website.
Okay.
And I haven't talked to our billing coordinator yet about putting it on Smart Hub, but that'll be our next opportunity.
But it is on the website.
Yes.
It is on the website. Okay, well, that's
Yes.
good.
Well, I say it is. I haven't double checked, but it's supposed to be.
Well, I'm not going to do it now.
Okay.
Because I don't want anybody to get in trouble. So.
Right, but it will come in an email fashion October 1st to anyone who has signed up for our company email. If you haven't signed up for our company email, you can do that too at the click of a button.
On the website.
On our website.
On the website,
Yeah.
which is cvecoop.org. All right. Leah, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And that's going to be it for the show today. Thanks to all our guests for being here. And if you missed any of our segments, I mean, John, Henry, and I really get into it on a lot of different topics. Some of it involving the county. So we'll have those segments up there to watch. John Ross Noel was with us today, and of course Leah's segment. And if you missed the volleyball game last night, that's up on KSVP TV. If you missed the soccer game last night, girls win 2-1 over Roswell High. That's up there. Coming up Friday night, we have football with Lovington for homecoming, and that's on radio and TV. And then on Saturday, at 11 o'clock, the girls' soccer team is in action again out at the Mac Chase Complex, and if you can't make it, that'll be on the TV as well. All right, that's it for the show today. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Clay and Buck are next here on KSVP Artesia. Thanks for joining us today. Today's KSVIP is Debbie Juarez. Debbie is celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to the best sister, mom, and grandma ever. Thank you for blessing our lives in such a mighty way. Thank you, God, for this gift you gave us. With love from all of your family. Today, Debbie, you're going to receive a flower from Lovebud Floral and KSVP. Today's KSVIP, Debbie Juarez.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.